When did you start getting interested in Instagram? Was it early on?
Yeah, I think it was around 2012. I was working for Saatchi & Saatchi, and they sent a bunch of us to South by Southwest. And part of the requirement for everyone that was going, we had to all share our trip on our Twitter and Instagram and use their hashtag. I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'm going to create an Instagram account. And yeah, my first post is, I think, from the airplane landing in Austin. And, I could probably spend the first 2 or 3 months using it like, everyone else does, pictures of food and, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's my girlfriend.
Nothing,
nothing but food.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, do what you love.
But I took a trip to Big Sur a few months after that, and just sort of started taking pictures of just the natural environment there. And immediately, I think as soon as maybe the second post I did from Big Sur, kind of like something clicked for me. It's like I saw a big increase in sort of like the amount of likes and comments and engagement my posts were getting. I mean, back then it was like, it's getting 3 instead of 1.
Yeah. But it's an indicator.
But it's an indicator. It's like, wow, okay, so there's a connection here between, the quality or just like the how compelling the content is, and then how it performs. And I think that's, as an artist, like that's all you need to like know is that, okay, the better I make this, the more people are going to see it and the more people are going to appreciate it. That seed, I think, was all I needed to kind of get me going and really kind of pull me into the app. And it's definitely, I think, changed my life, changed my career. It's pretty amazing what that app's done.
Did you call yourself a photographer at that point?
Absolutely not.
No. And you were shooting on your phone at this time, or are you starting to actually shoot on a legit camera?
No, at that point it was all still on my phone. I think I had gone the extra step and gotten one of those like lens adapters for my phone.
Yeah.
So I was a little fancy, but that was about it. I had a camera I just bought for actually I went on my honeymoon and I wanted to get like a nice camera, just like any tourist would. So I started playing around with DSLRs, but at that point I really considered myself, a designer, an art director. I didn't really consider myself a photographer. But it's funny because photography is actually like where I really started back in the day in high school. And so for me, it was kind of going back to my roots and, sort of learning something that I'd sort of always kind of loved, but never really had a reason to get back in. I think Instagram became that reason, and then it was full speed ahead from there.
Yeah. Were there any moments where, as you're developing this Instagram account and you start to get more and more traction, where you go from 3 likes to 10,000 or whatever it is? What's that journey look like? And what's that how did that play out?
Sure. So yeah, I get started with actually me and a friend of mine who kind of joined at the same time, and we were kind of like jokingly competing with each other to see who could get to like 1,000 followers first, and like figuring out if you hashtag this or hashtag that, you're gonna get more likes, and started doing it. But I just I became I think you see this a lot. You get as an artist, you get a little obsessed with it because it's such a great feedback loop for you, because you're so like, wow, I'm gonna take this. I was all of my iPhone still. I was doing some traveling and just taking photos as I was traveling with the iPhone, but I was using it a lot. I was probably posting like 3 times a day.
Oh wow!
And
do you post that much still?
I don't. But yeah, I was posting a lot back then, and actually, I probably got to about 2,000 followers just from using it a lot. I think Instagram kind of incentivizes you to post and use the app a lot, and so it kind of like, you gain followers. And I think when I had around 2,000, I became Instagram made me a suggested user for about a week. Something they don't do anymore. They did it back then, and sometimes when you're a suggested user, some people will get like 200,000 followers. Some people would get 400,000. Some people would get 5,000. I got 20,000 followers from it.
That's insane.
Over a week. So yeah, it's crazy.
It literally was just 1 week where you're like, okay, cool. Now I have 20,000 followers.
Yeah, it was insane. All of a sudden it turns on, and then you start getting like literally hundreds of followers like every minute. It's kind of crazy.
Wow. I was thinking about that because I'm pretty early in the game and creating original content and putting it out there. But like, you went from a point where your whole audience, right? You kind of see an audience of 2,000 people, and then it jumps up to 20,000, and now your audience isn't the same anymore, right? It's you're not even those people. You have to kind of build that relationship all over again from scratch.
True. And it's interesting because it kind of changed the way I used it too. I felt like all of a sudden, you know, I went from being in a living room with a few friends to being on stage, you know, and like an audience. I'm like, oh boy, I have to take this a little more seriously now.